Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about how to live like you're rich when you're on a budget. I hear so many people who are just starting college, just exiting college, or just entering life complain about how little money they have. So today I want to talk about how to feel like you're rich even if you only have a part-time job or not very much money coming in. Half of this video is going to be dedicated to how to save your money and spend it properly to make the most of it, and the other half is going to be dedicated to things you can do for free and things and mindsets you can get into in order to feel more rich in your day-to-day life. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to dress like you're rich. Now, this kind of style guide isn't going to be about what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear. It's more about what you should spend your money on. A lot of trendy items are way too expensive and won't make you happy for a very long time. And I think it's much better to buy something that is classy, like a suit or a nice fitting dress, as opposed to buying a paperboy cap or anything that's just going to be trendy for a few months. Other things you can do are buy accessories or clothing items that you can wear with a lot of things to really dress them up. Things like wristwatches, fancy necklaces, cardigans, jackets, things like that. Want to find cheaper styling pieces, things that will make you feel more rich in your day-to-day life without breaking the bank. So you can buy wristwatches on Amazon for very cheap, they'll look very expensive. You can get hats at thrift stores or things like that. You really want to know where to shop. And that kind of brings us to our next point, which is partly designing your room, partly clothing, but it's about maximizing the amount of money you have. Go to thrift stores, go to dollar stores. There are a lot of really good quality things at these places. You can go to the dollar store and you can buy thumbtacks, you can buy notebooks, you can buy glassware, you can buy basically anything you need is like any basic supplies, throwawayable supplies, you can get at the dollar store for cheaper. There are some things that you won't want to get, but there's also places at Goodwill where they have really high quality things, or Ross where they'll have things that just have a couple of stitches undone. And that's a great way to maximize how much you actually get to spend on other things. As far as theming yourself in your room, you want to pick a theme and stick to it. I like rainbow, most of my clothes are rainbow. If you are buying a lot of pieces, a lot of styling pieces, either for your room or your wardrobe that don't fit together, you are never going to wear them, never going to put it up, it's never going to look nice and neat. So pick something that you connect with. That might be a beach theme, that might be a punk rock theme. There's plenty of themes out there. Just choose something and try to stick to it so you're not spending a ton of your money and time picking out things that aren't going to look good, that you're not going to wear, that you're not going to use. Another tip for your room to make it look nicer and optimize the space is to put a lot of things in bins. You can buy bins at the dollar store, little fabric bins that you can use to organize your closet, your kitchen, under your bed. But if you have designated spaces to put your stuff, it's going to be a lot easier to clean up. You can just throw stuff in there. It doesn't have to be clean once it's in the bin, but it will make you feel a lot richer and more profitable if you have a nice clean space. When you see pictures on like Home Magazine and things like that and on HGTV, it's never dirty. So if you want to feel richer, you need to try and keep your space clean and not, I'm assuming no one wants to spend a lot of time cleaning their space, so get bins for that. Minimalism is a big trend right now. It's been in style in the past. It's going to be in style going forward into the future. So if you can work with that style, if that's something that you appreciate, that's a great way to feel richer without having as much. Because you only buy essential things, your styling isn't going to be that big, your dress isn't going to be that like it's mildly formal. It's going to make it so you aren't longing for things as much. If you're thinking, oh, my style is minimalism, I don't need this thing, Now we're on to our third part, which is more of the lifestyle changes and things that you can do to actually have more money and feel like you have more money. And one of the biggest things that drives me crazy with people my age is the degree to which they spend money on cheap little things and never have big things. I would much rather not buy a candy bar and later buy a fish tank. Now you might think a fish tank's a lot more expensive than a candy bar, and you would be right, but if you are buying candy bars every single day, that $2 is going to add up quickly. So if you can keep yourself from buying little things and tell yourself that you're going to spend it on bigger things, you're going to feel more profitable. Because if you think about it, in 10 years, in 5 years, in a month, are you going to think back about that candy bar? Maybe, maybe not. Are you going to think about that skateboard you bought, that big clothing shopping haul thing you did? Probably, more likely than on the candy bar. So invest in experiences and things like that as opposed to cheaper things. Some other things that people don't think about is like coffee. It is a lot of money to get coffee at Starbucks every day, and it's a lot cheaper to make it at home. Little lifestyle changes like that, just go open up your banking app and look and see at all the littler pricey things that just came up as $3 or $7 or $1. What were those on? And can you keep yourself from buying that in the future? It's also great if you set a really big goal. I wanted to save up enough money to buy a ticket to Japan this year so that next year I can start saving enough money to rent a hotel in Japan, and that way I can go to the 2020 Olympics. So if you set a big goal for yourself like that, it's going to be much easier to not buy the little things because you're going to be working towards a goal. Learn how to cook. This is a lifestyle change that is going to make you feel a lot more wealthy, a lot more profitable. You aren't going to be spending money eating out all the time. You can have much better food, and if you can cook, I feel like that's a skill that a lot of people associate with wealth. So start with smaller things, learn how to cook chicken, learn how to fancy up your ramen noodles by cracking an egg in it or something. Just learn how to do how to make a meal that tastes good, looks good, learn about how to present your meal, and it's going to save you a lot of money, well, I don't know if it'll really save you time, but it'll save you money, and it's a good skill. Go on cheap trips. I feel like something that a lot of people think of when they're thinking of people who are rich are people who travel a lot. Road trips and other like cheap flights and whatnot are really great ways to not spend a lot of money and also get a little more experience, travel the world a little bit more. And if you go on these trips, it does kind of give you a feeling of wealth, and it is something that you can talk about with other people. I have so many experiences where someone's like, oh yeah, I live in this town, no one's ever heard of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I went there on a road trip once, and it's a good way to connect with people. A completely free thing that you can do to feel more wealthy is figure out where the people who have money spend their time and spend your time there. There's plenty of places in Chicago that you can walk into that are beautiful inside, that are like hotel lobbies and whatnot, that other people come to. They have coffee, they have, and they write on their laptop. Just finding the higher class places to spend your time will make you feel more rich. Some other quick simple tips include only buying things once. If you can spend just a few more dollars on something and not have to buy it next year, for instance, earbuds. A lot of people go through earbuds really quickly because they buy cheap ones that break. You could buy more expensive headphones that last much longer and will eventually save you money. Other things to do that save money: take care of your stuff. Wipe down your bag every once in a while. Wipe off your shoes every once in a while. When you wash stuff, sometimes maybe take a little bit of extra care with it. Just be conscious about what you're using, how much you're using of it, and take care of it proportionately. So maybe you take the CTA, and if you were rich, you would really want to have a private car. What could you do what would you be doing in the private car? Would you be writing? Would you be reading? Would you be listening to music? Would you be on the phone with your mom? Whatever it is. So when you're on public transit, what could you do to feel more like that? Could you put on some headphones, get out a book, and just kind of zone out and pretend that you're not on public transit. There are little games you can play in your mind to maybe get more in that wealth mindset. Dressing nicer in general is a really great way to make yourself feel more wealthy, and spending money and not being worried about money constantly will make you feel more wealthy. So you need to learn how to spend it correctly, and you need to learn how to budget. Also, think about your friends and their habits. I find a lot of people complain about their friends all the time, and that's really sad for me to see, but most of the time it's because their friends complain all the time, and they have unhealthy habits that then they pick up because they're with their friends, things like that. So if there's a specific person that you're always complaining about or always annoyed with, is there something that you could do to back down on hanging out with them? Could you go and meet new friends, not necessarily get rid of the old ones, but make new friends that are that have better fun experiences, that have the kind of healthy habits that you want to have. If you don't know where to meet new friends, go somewhere that has the healthy habit you want and talk to people. So if that's working out but you don't want to go to a gym, go rock climbing. Talk to people who rock climb. They're going to know other sports that are also healthy for you, things like that. This is a little bit harder when it comes to restaurants. You can't just start randomly talking to people at restaurants, but there's also chat groups and things like that online. There's Discords for everything. Meet people at conventions that you like going to, and spend a little bit of money to go to a place where you will be able to meet someone and then make friends with them, and it's going to be worth it. Friendships are worth a little bit of money sometimes. And finally, a great way to feel richer is to act richer. So whenever you are thinking like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Think of what you would imagine a richer version of yourself would do and go about that. If it's a graphic t-shirt, like, oh, should I get this t-shirt or not? Oh, well, the richer me would be wearing a button down instead. Or it could be, should I get this thing at Walgreens? Oh no, the richer me would probably get this more expensive thing at another place. The only real exception I can think of this would be thrift stores, and with that, there are fancier thrift stores. If you don't like thrift stores, you could go to antique stores. Antiques are really in right now, so that's cool. You can just try to get in the general mindset of being more rich and spending your money only on things that the richer you would spend them on, and then try to enjoy life as much as you can, and you will find that between your budget and your lifestyle changes, you will become happier and actually more wealthy overall. I hope this helped you out. If there's anything you need clarification on, please let me know. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, that's another good thing to let me know. I'll have those as questions in the eye. Please feel free to leave a comment. I try to respond, but sometimes I forget. But anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Boop.